Have you ever heard of a country called Biafra? For a brief, intense period in history, it was a real nation, born out of a struggle that would become one of the most devastating conflicts of the 20th century. This is the story of the Nigerian Civil War, also known as the Biafran War, a conflict that lasted less than 3 years but left scars that endure to this day. To understand why this war happened, we need to go back to 1960, when Nigeria gained its independence from Britain. Nigeria is a vast country, home to over 250 ethnic groups. The three largest are the Hausa Fulani in the north, the Yoruba in the southwest, and the Igbo in the southeast. From the start, tensions between these groups simmered, fueled by political, economic, and cultural differences. The British colonial administration had often favored certain groups over others, creating a system ripe for conflict. The situation exploded in 1966. A military coup, led mostly by Igbo officers, overthrew the civilian government. While the coup leaders claimed they wanted to end corruption, it was seen by many in the north as an Igbo power grab. This led to a counter-coup just a few months later, led by northern officers. What followed was a wave of horrific ethnic violence. Thousands of Igbo people living in the north were targeted and killed in pogroms, forcing millions to flee back to their ancestral homeland in the southeast. Faced with this violence and feeling that the Nigerian state could no longer protect them, the military governor of the eastern region, Lieutenant Colonel Chukwemeka Odumgwuoyukwu, made a fateful decision. On May 30, 1967, he declared the independence of the Republic of Biafra, carving out the southeastern region from Nigeria. The new nation took its name from the Bight of Biafra and was seen by its people as a sanctuary, a place where they could finally be safe. The Nigerian government, under General Yakubu Gowon, refused to accept this secession. They saw it as an illegal rebellion that threatened the very existence of Nigeria. Just a few weeks later, on July 6, 1967, Nigerian federal troops marched into Biafra. What was initially expected to be a quick police action to crush the rebellion spiraled into a full-blown, brutal war. The Nigerian federal forces had a massive advantage in terms of soldiers and international support. Britain and the Soviet Union supplied Nigeria with weapons, while most of the world officially recognized Nigeria's sovereignty. Biafra, on the other hand, was largely isolated. They received some support from a few countries like France, but they were vastly outgunned and outnumbered. The Biafran people, however, fought with incredible determination, driven by a desperate will to survive. One of the most defining and tragic strategies of the war was the Nigerian blockade. Nigeria completely sealed off Biafra's borders, cutting off food, medicine, and other essential supplies. The goal was to starve the secessionist state into submission. This tactic had a catastrophic humanitarian impact. International media began broadcasting shocking images of starving Biafran children, their belly swollen from a severe protein deficiency disease called kwashiorkor. These images were among the first of their kind to be shown on television screens around the world, bringing the horror of the conflict into living rooms and galvanizing a massive international relief effort. Humanitarian organizations like the Red Cross and various church groups organized airlifts, flying in food and medical supplies under the cover of darkness to makeshift airstrips, often under the threat of attack. These brave pilots and aid workers saved countless lives, but it wasn't enough to stop the widespread famine. It's estimated that between 1 and 2 million people, mostly civilians, and a huge number of them children, died during the war, the vast majority from starvation and disease caused by the blockade. After 2.5 years of relentless fighting and immense suffering, the Biafran resistance finally collapsed. On January 15, 1970, Biafra officially surrendered. Colonel Oyukwu had already fled into exile, and his deputy, Philip Effiong, formally handed over the surrender to the Nigerian government. General Gowon, in a remarkable act of reconciliation, declared no victor, no vanquished. He announced a program of reconstruction, rehabilitation, and reconciliation to reintegrate the former Biafran territory and its people back into Nigeria. While this policy helped prevent further large-scale reprisals, the deep wounds of the war remained. The Igbo people faced significant economic and political challenges in post-war Nigeria, and the memory of Biafra has never truly faded. Today, the Nigerian Civil War serves as a powerful reminder of the devastating consequences of ethnic conflict and political instability. It highlighted the power of media to shape global opinion and spurred the creation of new humanitarian organizations like Doctors Without Borders. More than 50 years later, the legacy of Biafra continues to influence Nigerian politics and identity, with some groups still advocating for its revival. The war remains a painful but crucial chapter in African history, a story of immense tragedy, incredible resilience, and the enduring quest for peace and unity. Thank you for watching. If you found this video informative, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more deep dives into historical events. See you next time.